Well, time to get some ingredients for Brewday. Get all them away. Time for the daily grind. I have made an attachment for the drill, but I can't fit it there.
Fucking cock come out and smack me right through the And at the end of the night, I tripped over a box, I turned all the lights off, took the computer down, I tripped over a fucking box and went fucking flat on my face. Because I was drunk, right? Hit my elbow off radiator, bent my toe back, woke Abby up, she shot up, zombies about Michael Jackson's Thriller, straight up in bed, she went, what's wrong? About 12 at night.
Well, the brew shed is getting christened. We have mashed in. And it should be 65, but we're 66. The temperature's holding, which is better. We've blocked up the little piece on here where it tends to be open and let all heat out rather quick. And we're on the cast with Tom, Dave, Jonah's on here at the minute, and Harry, and myself. But just now going to rig up another camera, and of course have a brew. This one's a Weinsteffen Original, Barish Mild. Well, we've only lost about half a degree over 57 minutes so far. We're a 60-minute mash. Should have been 65 degrees, but we're a little bit higher, give or take, the accuracy of the thermometer. So once that's done, we'll run off and do a batch barge. Right, we're just doing the first jug of all offing. Back into the batch stand. I haven't got any foil or any barbecue trays. We're just doing a gentle pour back into the grain bed. Ready for the next jug. Look at that. Now do you ask if I can hold the camera and turn the tap and hold the jug? I must have three ends. Haha. Look at that baby run clear. 3 kilos of wheat malt, 3 kilos of lager malt, 300 grams of cara pills to make an American style wheat beer. We use citra as the hop and the dry wheat yeast. And I use that filter pan to catch any little grain segments coming out the tap. We'll put this one in the boil kettle and then run through with a batch barge, get the boil going, then top up the kettle and go. Ready for the big one. I'll wait for me sparge water to warm up, so I'm doing the sparge in 2 split batches. We're doing the first batch sparge. It should yield about 8 to 10 litres, and then we've got another lot on there. We'll just wade the citra hops out. Start the boil and a flame out addition. Flame on, first time using the big pot. Well, that's the second run out on the batch sparge. Very, very clear. We're running at about 10:18 on the runoff. I'm going to run it through to about 10:10, 10:12. We'll see what volumes we get. I need about another 10 litres, so 9-10 litres. We're getting fairly close to the mark. Well, coming up to 87 degrees. Just got the lid on there just to bring her up to the boil faster. Then we'll do the first addition of hops. Well, the fan doesn't catch all the steam, but we didn't have any problems in the other shed. We're actually condensing on this plastic film. It is sucking some of it up. This is the first time I've used this large brew kettle, so it's got a bigger surface area than the others, but if I can find a low profile hood to go over, and all good. But we're just up to the 100-degree mark. We're at boiling, and this is ideal because you don't get hardly any hot break with this. It's a 70-litre volume pot. We've got about 28.5 litres in, so we're going to check the first addition of 17 grams of citra in. Well, it looks like the extractor fan's working. It smells friggin' awesome out here. Right, well, we're still casting on oovoo. I've just about remembered the Irish moss. Now I'm going to go in with the 26 grams of citra, which is on the flame out, just about. That return line on a wort chiller is rather warm. And I'm getting rather wasted, and the warning light is coming on. Anyway, the only problem we've had so far is the wort chiller hose that I did use is not long enough for the run back up to the garden, so I've had to use the discharge hose, which is this one. No difference really, it's just bloody longer. So we're going to bung that one up on the other hose pipe, the garden hose pipe, just to run through. And the discharge is just out the back door. Because I've been buggering about doing other things, I haven't had chance to empty the mash tun. So I was going to use the discharge water to rinse the mash tun out. So we quickly better do that. Well, I don't know whether you can see in there, but we've got plenty of protein floating about. We've managed to do a little bit of melting on the thermometer, probe wire. Of course, changing the hoses over meant the one non-return valve was causing a bit of pressure build-up. So we had to take that off. And now the dogs are eating the spent grain. We haven't finished washing and rinsing out yet. They keep fighting, so I have to stop them from killing one another. And the brew kettle sprung a leak on the tap. Right, well, bit of a fraught day with things going on that weren't quite planned to go to schedule, but then they very rarely do they? Anyway, we sorted out the issue with the wort chiller, so I've just cleaned everything. I've got to sort out the big brew kettle and just nip up the washer. You can see it leaks. I didn't notice the leak prior to chilling, but target volume into the kettle was 27.5 litres. Post boil should have been 23. We were well below that to start with, not calibrating the pot or anything to go in, but I kept sparging till 10-15, and it's good enough. I got a batch. I'm not too worried. It's a little bit higher ABV than anticipated, but then the anticipated gravity would be based on half a kilo less of grains than I've put in, so not that far. I think it's 1060 pitching gravity. So yeah, 5.5–6% beer, which is more or less what it was aimed at, and I think it was 5.9, something like that. We put a few more grains in the original recipe. About trying to clean the last of the stuff down and get everything out the way, but the extractor fan worked. We haven't got a pooling condensation upon the top of the polythene, so that worked. I haven't died of carbon monoxide poisoning, and the polythene didn't melt, which I didn't expect it to either. So the only issue with the kettle was the leak from the seal, and the Burko doesn't hold enough water to do all your sparging, which I knew anyway, which is why I want to clean the second one up until I sort something else out. So all in all, I thought it was a little bit of aggravation. They usually are. They're not, you know, they never run quite according to plan. But anyway, it worked. We've got, I think, 18 litres of American wheat beer, which hopefully will last long enough for the summer weather. But hopefully now I'm in the flow, I can get another brew knocked out. Having a little bit of outside space is very useful as well to put the fermenting bin you're going to use, a bucket to clean the water chiller ready to put in your brew, things like that. Yeah, so in an ideal world, yes, the shed needs to be twice the size so you can have a nice big sink and do all your clean up inside. You can have a tap to hook up and you haven't got to run 50 feet of hose down the garden for your water chiller. But, you know, you have to make do with what you got, as I keep saying. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow or Monday I'll do another one. I've just got to clean the manifold on the mash tun and we're pretty much done, and I'll whip the webcam out of the shed, back down the ass and have another beer and chill. Yes, and we have Brewcam. It's Tom pretending he's professional and he knows what he's doing. Norfolk is good. Hold up. You should see what he done when he hacked your webcam.
Probably drop that camera down a bit, couldn't I? It's a bit high.
Barry's eating roadkill.
Yeah, it is. You're a bit.
That's a bit of Galston roadkill you're eating there, isn't it?
Put it away, ankle straight.
Yeah. Well, like one of the motorbikers.
Well, your head's still bended. Oh, that's better. We can't say anything at all now, Harry. Yeah.
If he moves to the left a bit, he'll disappear into Chris's camera.
I can't eat till I've got my nutcracker.
This man was last seen in a pound shop in Harrogate. Have you seen this man? Oh, we're still at it.
Oh, let me test the temps. I've got down.
Oh, it's me. Oh,
123.
oh, Chris, incognito.